the feedback from the women, like one guy, I think he was only in my program. My programs are a year, and they're a year for a reason. I don't want to give you a fish. I want to teach you to fish. I love being your inspiration, but I don't want to be your guru. So you're in it to win it and cultivate the capacity for the rest of your life to be able to sit in the fire and keep your heart open. So I think it was only a month with this one guy came in. His wife male insecurities that turn women off. Alana Pratt here, intimacy expert, host of the podcast Intimate Conversations. A lot of times with men, so I've been at this for 20 years. I've been on the planet for 52. I've studied a lot. I've got a lot of certifications. I've worked with thousands of clients over the years. And I'd say across the board, men have, society doesn't let men don't cry. And certainly men with other men, don't let another man, that you're getting wobbly. I love the men's groups that are starting though, and flourishing. It's time for brotherhood to be taken to the next level where it's safe for men to be real with men. I'm so pleased how the world is evolving. Insecurities in general in front of a woman. Actually, I'm just reminded right now of one client. So I have different groups. I coach every single week, different groups. Some have access to me as their coach. Other ones have access to my Alana Pratt Method coaches. But regardless, I'm there for everybody every week. And as luck would have it, this one gentleman is in a group with all women. There's some other guys, but they don't show up very often. But he does. He shows up every single week. And he's like, I love this because I'm freaking intimidated every single time I'm here. And I'm like, why? He goes, everybody's women. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, this is my edge. He coaches men. So he's all about the men's work, but showing up vulnerably in front of women, terrifying. So when he does be vulnerable, every single woman on the call melts. They respect his vulnerability. They respect his transparency. They respect his courage and bravery to open his heart and tell the truth and feel his feelings and be processed. Like if something's there, I'll process right in the moment whatever's going on with people. So I get him back to peace and calm when he started in panic or overwhelm or shame or guilt or what have you. His concern was that by being in this group, not only would it be terrifying to be with as many women as there are, but also they would all hate him. They would all disrespect him. They would all think, oh, no, quite the opposite. Women crave a man balanced in his masculine and feminine energy. Not like 50-50 balance, but like knows how to be a man and lead and take charge and show up and do what it takes, right? And also be willing to feel and receive the moment. If it's a shitty moment or a triumphant moment, be able to receive her emotions. I just actually read a meme this morning as I was getting up. And it said one of the sexiest things in a man is a man who can be with all of a woman's emotions. I call it her weather. Whatever the weather is, he can be with it. They were not saying that's just respectful or honoring or badass or amazing. No, they're actually saying it's sexy. Okay, so this man in my group coaching is finding the same thing, that these women are able to trust. And if they can trust, they can open. And if they can open, they can be juicy and radiant and inviting and alluring and themselves. But when they can't trust, then they shut down. They go into their masculine as well. And they got two masculine energies and they repel. They do not connect or attract. So it's very unattractive when a man just lies and says he's fine. It's really abusive when a man doesn't know how to be with his own feelings and he rages or projects or, heaven forbid, hits or yells because he just can't be with his own discomfort, his own inner pain, his own inner shame, his own inner lack of forgiveness. That's definitely not attractive. Definitely a turnoff. Yeah. And so what I would say is do the work so that your insecurities don't yell at the kids, condescend her, shove it back in her face and blame, project, any of those knee-jerk reactions that happen when we're terrified, when we're triggered. Because when we're triggered, we're not in our heart. When we're triggered, we're not in the best of our brain. We're in our fight or flight or freeze or fawn, which basically means kill before you get killed. And it's very, very difficult to respect or forgive a man who on a regular basis, I mean, we all have our days, right? But if it's not acknowledged and the rupture isn't repaired and the work isn't done to show growth, evolution, ascension with this issue, respect goes way down, way down. I don't know if it's even recoverable if it's a pattern, because it says when things get tough, you don't do anything about it. When things get tough, you blame rather than sit in your own fire and grow. And vice versa. Because everybody's human, when one of those moments happen and it's like, oh, okay, looks like I've got a blind spot. Wow, looks like I've got an unhealed wound. Looks like there's some unconscious trauma that I need to deal with. And then he goes and works with somebody like me. And then he's able to sit in the fire and stay present next time and not get triggered. The feedback from the women, like one guy, I think he was only in my program. My programs are a year, and they're a year for a reason. I don't want to give you a fish. I want to teach you to fish. I love being your inspiration, but I don't want to be your guru. So you're in it to win it and cultivate the capacity for the rest of your life to be able to sit in the fire and keep your heart open. So I think it was only a month with this one guy came in. His wife didn't want to do the program, just he did, which happens sometimes because not everybody's always on the same page at the same time. So sometimes we have the woman or the man in a relationship do the work, but the relationship improves. And so this is what was happening. So within a month, they were having more sex than they'd had in a year or something like that. The kids were behaving. He got a promotion. Like, what? And he's like, and it all came down to very simple, but not easy. Simple, but not easy. It came down to, oh my God, I have been so harshly critical of myself, said the gentleman. That's how I was raised. I had no idea that I could be different. And whenever I'm curt with her or curt with the kids, that's how I talk to myself. Oh my God. So within a month, he turned all that around, and it took practice, and there's still processing to do, and just sprinkles on top of the ice cream cone of shit can manage things and have relief for a while, but it's not lasting change. It's not true transformation or healing, and he'll get there. But within a month, just that shift in perspective, how grateful and safe and opening his wife became. And another thing happened too that I do want to caution you when you begin to do the work. It's not this linear trajectory and we're all robots and then we live happily ever after. Sometimes there's a comfort, and I don't know if it's sick, it's just sad. It's probably sad. There's sometimes a comfort, a sad comfort in just fighting all the time. Nobody has to grow. Nobody has to face their own shit. Nobody has to take responsibility. Nobody has to own anything. You just keep blaming, keep blaming, keep blaming. And then one person stops. The other person is like, what? But we're doing the blame each other thing. And in this case, the gentleman was like, no, we're not. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to blame you for stuff. I'm going to take total ownership and responsibility. And I'm going to ask that you stop hitting below the belt. She didn't like that very much. She was actually quite addicted to blaming him rather than sitting in her own fire and doing her own work. So sometimes when you do the work, it's this, it's non-linear until you get there get through to the other side where each of you are whole, not half empty. You complete me. I need to control you. You're the source of my happiness or the source of my money, like unhealthy codependence and that kind of thing. When you really get two whole people, it takes two whole people to make this next level of relationship work. But oh my God, when you do, and the blame ends, and it's safer, and the sex is love-making, and it's hot, and it's rapturous because your hearts are open to yourselves and to each other. It's no longer 1 and 1 equals 2. It's 1 and 1 equals infinity. It's freaking amazing, and it's worth it. So I encourage you to go to our site, alanapratt.com. There's an amazing call. It's a $97 call. It's an intimacy breakthrough experience. You'll get so much friggin'. You'll probably get like 10 times, 20 times value out of your investment. But the bottom line is you're going to see what's really running the show. The unconscious wound or blind spot that's actually repelling the love, intimacy, and connection you desire. You deserve that. And if you just want to wait on that, that's fine. Take the intimacy blind spot assessment. It's also, that's complimentary. It'll give you a great insight into what's going on. But here's the deal. Insight and awareness is insight and awareness. Things are still fucked up. Okay? You have a greater awareness of why they are fucked up, but they're still fucked up. So you still got to do the work. So, but start where you want to start, because we know what we're doing around here, and we create incredible results, and we celebrate the amazing results that people get, and you deserve that. All right, all my love.